We can't agree on anything anymore. As a country, we just can't agree. We just fight about everything. We can't even agree on Black Lives Matter. That's a controversial statement. Black lives matter. Not matters more than you, just matters. Matters. Just matters. That's where we're starting the negotiations. Matters. We can't agree on that shit? What the fuck is less than matters? Black lives exist. Can we say that? Can we say... Is that controversial? We always ask for the lowest common denominator. We ask for the lowest rights. Gays were fighting for equal rights. Equal rights. Could you believe that's an actual stance you could have? You could be for equal rights? That means there's people out there saying, I think everybody should have the same rights as everyone else. And there's other people like, nah, son, I disagree. They don't tell you Black lives don't matter. That's not what they say. That's not the argument. They hit you with that slick shit. Like, well, all lives matter. Really? Semantics? That would be like if your wife came up to you and was like, do you love me? And you were like, baby, I love everybody. What are you talking about? I love all God's creatures. What are you saying? You're no different.
You don't hear it if your headphones are on. You don't see it if you're staring at a white wall. You don't say it if you're too busy caring at all. But the world is suffering, so what's the deal with you all? Holding up my hand, shaking round my arm, stomping down my feet, but nothing's coming up. Feels like I'm a butterfly, no one here can hear me. But I'm scared of all this stuff going on. You're not useless. You're not inconsistent. You're just another drop of water in a big blue ocean. Not much difference when alone, but together, we could rule the world.
Listen to me, but not to me. Don't listen to me. Actually, you should listen to me. Because sometimes I say things which can be quite good. Sometimes not. But don't listen to me because I don't like people hearing me talk. You're a stand-up comedian. Yes, I know I'm a stand-up comedian, alright. Gotta love the attention. Tonight, I think I'd actually like to give my audience, my lovely ladies and gents, a little bit of advice, I would. It is not enough in life to hope, to dream, to care. I do all those things and life sucks. Am I right? If you expect nothing, literally nothing, you might be surprised. I mean, probably not, because the Earth's doing a little downward spiral right now. But hey, if you get some good out of it, that's great. I think we all know this country doesn't know what to do. To be quite honest, I don't either. I'm not sure what we can really do from this point. Boris Johnson is doing the best he can. And I'm very shameful towards that. And I have a lot of guilt. White guilt. I can put my hand up and say that. But right now, ladies and gents, our guilt isn't going to help us, save us, or do anything for us. But we do have white privilege. I know, I said it. white. And we can use it. We can use it to be good allies to people of colour. Yes. White privilege isn't a thing, mate. I mean, I'd probably argue that white privilege is a thing that you're benefiting from, as well as the patriarchy, so... Well, no. Alright, so are you not a white man? Well, I'm a white man, but so are you. Surprise, surprise. Thank you for mansplaining that to me. I was not aware that I was a white man also. Who is using their white privilege for good? Anyone? Any faith in humanity left? You. Yeah, you. With a pink hat. You're doing good. That's great. How about you? Baseball cap. Yeah, you, mate. Good. Better be. Jesus. Ladies and gents, I am going to leave you with this one joke. Why doesn't the Queen wave with this hand? Anyone? Because it's my hand. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Robert Daniels. Thank you very much.
Janine, just let me finish. I have been carrying your share of history as well as mine, and I need you to take your half. I can't carry it all anymore. I will get exhausted and go crazy. I will have no joy.
You're making yourself crazy. With the refusal to see the good in anything, it's clearly more of a strain than you can bear. Do you think you're the first person in history to get hurt? The grand sweep of history is that some people hurt other people and they never really make amends, and you have to move on and win the next round. You will not win the next round if you keep thinking like this. It will cost you a grade, it will cost you jobs, it will cost you political power. No one likes to feel pity. No one likes to feel guilt. No one likes anything that sounds anything like whining. No one wants to hear more about racism.
What gives you the right? Your ignorance has consumed you. How do you not see? Do you even hear yourself?
You're so relentlessly negative and you make everything seem uglier. Why would anyone want to listen to that? I hate seeing the world through your eyes.
You know what?
By all means, rather than engaging in a serious intellectual discussion, be on your phone instead. Zoe, your history doesn't matter.
Do you hear yourself now?
Look, you can't... When people are speaking casually, they're not careful with every word. I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong.
Okay. Then you won't mind if I share what you said.
I could lose my place here. You know, my dad is head of law enforcement. They can take that down within seconds, so actually, go ahead. I'm not afraid. You know, I'm shocked. You're such a manipulative person, Zoe, and I will not sit back and let you harass me and other students about my country's history. Who are you planning on sending it to? The provost? The dean?
No. They just end up having a meeting with us to try to mediate a better understanding or whatever. I think no one does anything real unless there's public pressure.
I'm not a racist. I'm not. My cousin's stepmother is black. Ask anyone anyone that's ever known me, I'm not.
You're more afraid of looking like a racist than you are of being a racist.
I care very, very deeply about equality. I care about...
Okay, then what are you doing to promote equality? Or do you actually never even bother to think about it, and now you're just claiming that you do to save face when you know you've been behaving badly? Because in that case...
What do you want?
I want this to be your problem. I've spent my life living with this problem.
I get it, I do, I just...
No, you do not. That is my whole point. You don't get to say enough. Look around. Everything is tainted. Everything. And I have the burden of seeing it for what it really is. I have to educate people, and I have to decide when to stop educating people and let it go to stay likable and employable, and I have to focus on my dumb and problematic assignments with all this shit racing through my head, and it's all my problem. How is that fair?
Look, Zoe, you've made your point, and we can start the conversation again, and I will do better. Just delete the recording.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'll do better, I swear.
That's not really enough anymore.
So what is? What is?
Take accountability. Admit it. Say, I'm a racist. Say it.
I'm not.
Stop. You know, you weren't like this when we were kids. What happened? I thought you'd grow up to be...
I'm a racist. I'm sorry, Zoe. I've been so caught up in... I was so blind. It's the only way I've ever known. It's how I was brought up. I just couldn't see what was really going on. It's like I've always been in this bubble, and you're the first person to ever challenge me and show me how much I was missing. Thank you. The thing is, I see now I've been complicit. I know I've really hurt you. I can't imagine how much you've suffered. Your history does matter, and so do you. I will do better, I swear. I'll be in this with you like I should be. Like everyone should be.
Yeah. It's never too late to start learning and actually be part of the change.
everybody! I'm Zella.
And I'm Tamsin.
And today we're going to read you a story. Are we all sitting comfortably and ready to listen? Yes? Good. Then I'll begin. Listen to yourself, your body, your mind. Listen to your weariness. Don't be blind. Hear the aches and the pains. Listen to the trees, the moans and the groans. Hear the wind and the breeze.
Listen to the birds, nature's gift chirping away. All hours of the day, beautiful creatures exploding with exquisite colours.
Find the storms, get lost in the swarms. When I listened to the wind, I heard its cry. I heard the cry that made me wonder why.
I was a child, of course, when I rushed to a bird that needed my help, pumping its chest at 7 years old, giving CPR to a life untold. Killed innocently with a gun. Target practice, they say. See the way it falls, drops from the sky like prey.
The wind moaned and howled, crying for attention, for love, crying out to be heard, heard from above, heard in a world where no one listens.
The swoops and the swallows, watch how it glistens. See the patterns in the forest and the seas. See how the wind guides you through the trees.
Did we like that story, everybody?
We hope to see you all again sometime soon.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
So, what is it that you can tell from a name, Katie?
I think you can tell a great deal from a name. You know, for me, there's certain names that I hear and them and I think, ooh, and it's associated, ultimately it comes down to the mum or the dad because they're the ones that gave the child the name. But when I hear screeched across the playground, you know, Tyler, come back here. You know, that's the Tylers, the Charmaines, the Chantels, the Chardonnays.
And has no one shouted out, Esme, come back here?
I don't hear that so much,
Really?
nor do I hear, Ileana, trot back here. You know, you don't hear that, do you? But you hear, Tyler, come here. You know, that. And for me, that summarises everything. A name for me is a shortcut. It's
And
a really
what does-
efficient way of working out what class that child comes from. Do I want my children to play with them?
And why would you say, so if you then, from that, you go, okay, well, they're in a lower class.
I was a child, of course, once upon a time, but we grew up and our voices became louder, our actions became stronger, our thoughts became wiser. See the change? It's coming. Can you hear it? Can you smell it? Taste it? You do hate them, don't you? Otherwise this wouldn't be an issue. You wouldn't have to grab a pack of tissues because you felt attacked by giving people their basic human rights. You can't hear it. Really? You can't hear the thousands marching on the streets, the tears of those in grief. Listen again. How about now? No? Choose to listen to their voices that speak, the lives they have reached, the monsters in defeat. You have ears, nose, mouth, eyes. You can use them. You just need to switch them on.
Okay, so here's your list of names.
Yes, thank you. Well, this should be interesting.
You're just casting for ensemble members, right?
Yeah,
I've got some people in mind for the main cast, I think, but I thought there was definitely room for some real diversity in the ensemble. Right?
Absolutely, ticking those funding boxes.
Aisha!
Oh, I'm just joking. I think it's fantastic that you're so committed to giving white actors opportunities. You know I do. Oh, 2 black coffees, please.
Sorry, I'm Rob.
My co-director!
Yeah,
Oh, Rob, right. Nice to meet you. Take a seat.
thanks.
So great to put a face to a name. Here's the schedule for this morning, just seeing 4 people before lunch.
Oh, shall we go to that Thai place again?
You literally read my mind.
Great.
As I said on the phone, I've been absolutely swamped with other projects, so thanks so much for sorting out the audition material for this. What did you get them to prep?
I actually asked them to prep something from William Shakespeare. I don't know if you...
He adapted Amelia, right? Niche, I like it.
Yeah, I love that. Nice one, Rob.
Oh, great. I just thought, since you said it didn't matter so much what you saw for the ensemble roles, you just wanted to get a sense of the person, that I would give them something from a white writer.
Absolutely. Gosh, it's so great to see that you're using your position to give that voice to your people.
Sure. I mean, sure.
Right, well, let's do this, shall we? We have Elliot Green.
Any experience?
I can get his CV up if you want.
Actually, don't worry.
Oh, could I?
Elliot Green? Right, Elliot. How are you?
Great, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, honey. So, did you have any trouble getting here today?
No, it was easy. I'm just down in Peckham.
Oh, did you grow up there?
Yeah, I moved away for drama school actually, so it's quite nice to be back home.
I found this really great coffee shop there last year, and they do the best skinny pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, it's changed quite a lot in the last few years.
Okay, so what have you got for us today?
Henry V.
Whenever you're ready.
Once more. And to the breach, dear friends, once more. We'll close up the wall with our English dead.
I'm just going to stop you a minute. Can you try it, like, as if you're confessing something to your mum?
Cool.
Or your dad.
In peace. There's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger.
Great.
Yeah, nice. Can we try that again? But just maybe...
Actually,
I think we've got everything we need.
Do we?
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Elliot.
Thank you.
I thought he was good. Did you not want to see any more?
Oh, I don't know, he was a bit... blah. No? Bland?
Vanilla.
Okay.
Right? Just a bit... eh.
Seems like a nice guy though.
Oh, yes, lovely. So polite. Right, let's push on, shall we? Charlotte? Hi, Charlotte. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Oh, that accent. Where are you from, darling?
I'm French.
I love that. What have you got for us today?
Juliet, from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I've been meaning to read that actually.
I just finished casting the Broadway transfer. It's good.
It's amazing. It's so amazing that white voices are finally being given the...
Right, let's go for it, shall we?
Oh, right.
Whenever you're ready, Charlotte.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would have made them blush to paint my cheek, for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment.
Do you think they're going to be able to work with her hair for the headpieces?
Sorry, do you want me to keep going?
Sorry, my love. That was gorgeous. Really nice delivery.
We're just working out some costume elements.
Sorry, my darling. Your hair is gorgeous. I just hadn't considered how we deal with... Anyway, that's our problem, not yours.
Right.
It really is gorgeous. It's natural, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Charlotte.
You don't want to hear the rest of the speech?
No, I think we're good. Thanks, Charlotte.
Thank you.
I really liked her. I thought she was very engaging.
Definitely.
It's tricky though, isn't it? I mean, do you think your hair and makeup guys could work with that? She might not be quite the look.
Yeah, but she's really good though. I mean, surely we could...
It's time and resources though, isn't it? I mean, you know how it is. It's not personal, we just have to be practical.
Let's move on.
I really think that maybe you...
Eleanor Davies?
Hi, I'm Eleanor.
Hi, Eleanor. Lovely to meet you.
Oh, no, sorry, it's Eleanor.
Sorry, Eleanor? Eleanor.
Well, LD. You've got a great CV here. Looks like you've had a really good year.
Yeah, I've been really lucky. It's been a really good year. But it would be an honour to work with you though, really.
Have I cast you before? You look familiar.
No, I don't think so.
You must just have one of those familiar faces then. Anyway, ignore me when you're ready.
But I do think it is their husbands' faults if wives do fall. Say they slack their duties or pour our treasures into foreign laps and throw...
Okay, great. I think it needs more frustration. You're online, you see that your favourite TV show has just been cancelled. Like, oh, the Friends reunion. And you are absolutely furious. See if you can speak from that place.
I haven't seen Friends.
Oh, I mean, surely...
Just see if you can put a bit of the pain you've experienced in your life in... Don't be afraid to get mad.
Got it. But I do think it is their husbands' faults if wives do fall. Say they slack their...
Thank you so much.
But there's a bit more of the speech, do you?
No, I think we're good. We've seen everything we need to see.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I mean, great energy.
I see why she works so much.
But not for us.
Not quite right.
Great. So let's move on. The last one of the morning is Aurelie Burton.
Hi Aurelie, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Great.
So where have you come from today, Aurelie?
The airport. That's why I asked my agent to push the time back.
Oh, been anywhere nice?
Ankara. Seeing. Family.
That makes sense.
Sorry. What do you...
I mean, there's just something.
So what have you got for us?
Desdemona. From Othello.
You go, girl.
Oh. Good yoga.
Wait, Aurelie, with each line, take a step towards us, okay?
Oh. Good yoga. What shall I do to win my lord again? Good friend, go to him, for by this light of heaven, I know not how I lost him. Here I kneel, if e'er my will did trespass against his love, either in discourse or thought or actual deed. Comfort, forswear me.
Amazing. Thank you, Aurelie. I think that's all we need to see.
Thank you.
I love her look.
Her skin is gorgeous. So exotic. Can I say that?
No, not really.
Sorry. I mean it as a compliment.
Okay, also, the speech was good, I thought.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, that goes without saying.
Right.
Great. So we've got one.
Yeah. Good work, everyone. I think what we're doing here is really important. Right, come on then. Coffee's on me. And another thing, the grace you brought Othello, how you forged that Moor, got him talking down his eloquence as if his tongue wasn't part swan feather, part molasses. How you wrote a church of darkness, steepled by Iago and old Othello, its soul, beacon of honour and light. That shit literary fire, race theory brimstone, middle passage gold. But how you played Caliban, his tongue as Othello's and just as wronged. How you imbibed him with, emblemed him of colonised peoples, got me all riled up. Imagining my ancestors' vengeance, a rough blade thrust through Prospero's proud heart. But you didn't. Play ends, Callie still enslaved. That shit fucked.
Thank you very much for your time, Hugh.
Not at all. It's a great pleasure, Aurelie. I'm happy to talk to you.
So, here we go. You've recently played Othello for the RSC. You turned down offers to play the role for years. Why was that?
Well, I was always concerned that the play contains racist assumptions, and I didn't want to do it until and unless I was sure that I had a measure of influence, if not control, over the interpretation and the production. Othello starts out being very wise and experienced and noble, magnanimous, and a good judge of character. And you can see what Desdemona falls in love with and why they elope. Now, he's persuaded in a single scene, it's a long scene, Act 3, Scene 3, that his wife has been unfaithful. And that's when he becomes jealous and obsessive and murderous, and he becomes like almost a homicidal maniac. And the thing that persuades him is an allegation about a handkerchief that he's given to Desdemona, and she's supposed to have now given it to Cassio, her supposed lover, and a dream that Cassio is meant to have had, and when he spoke in his sleep while he was in bed with Iago. By the way, Shakespeare never mentions what they were doing in bed together, and Othello never questions it. But you see, even though it's a long scene, that always seemed to me unsatisfactory. And I suspected that Shakespeare was just exploiting common conventions about Black people, namely that they're perhaps prone to jealousy and not always very rational. And that seems to me a racist assumption.
Do you think Shakespeare is racist?
He may not have been an out-and-out racist, but he might have been a racist in the sense of not doing enough
Okay.
to stand up for his minority characters.
Here's the problem with everything that's going on in this conversation. This isn't all about just one man killed in one town. It's about how people of color, no matter their socioeconomic standing, face obstacles in this country with surprising grace. Look at how upset you all get about certain things.
Tonight, Christmas under attack.
Why do I have to drive around with my kids to look for nativity scenes and be like, oh yeah, kids, look, there's baby Jesus behind the Festivus pole made out of beer cans. It's nuts.
Remember? You were furious that America's 11-month-long celebration of Christmas wasn't enough. But now, if you can, just imagine that instead of having to suffer the indignity of a Festivus pole blocking something you could have just set up in your own yard anyway, imagine that instead of that, on a pretty consistent basis, you can't get a f***ing cab, even though you're a neurosurgeon, because you're black. I guarantee you that every person of color in this country has faced an indignity, from the ridiculous to the grotesque to the sometimes fatal, at some point in their, I'm gonna say, last couple of hours, because of their skin color.
An independent autopsy has been released into the death of George Floyd. What many are describing as the country's worst racial and civil unrest since the 1960s. In Portland, Oregon, police clashed with demonstrators using tear gas and stun grenades.
Please don't be too nice.
Of a community that is pleading for and demanding justice.
And I see what's being done to my kind. And
Hesitation of any kind is a sign of mental decay in the young and physical weakness in the old. Now, sir, will you clearly understand that any communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately from this moment? On this point, as indeed on all points, I am firm.
I'm engaged to be married to Gwendolen, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. Now, as regards Algernon. Algernon.
Yes, Aunt Augusta?
Is it in this house that your invalid friend Mr. Bunbury resides?
Oh, Bunbury? Bunbury doesn't live here. Bunbury is somewhere else at present. In fact, Bunbury is dead.
Dead? When did he die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
Oh, I killed Bunbury this afternoon. I mean, poor Mr. Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Bunbury? Oh, he was quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he a victim of revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that Mr. Bunbury was interested in social legislation. Now, Mr. Worthing, may I ask, who is that young person there on the screen next to Algernon?
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
Good afternoon, Lady Bracknell. I am engaged to be married to Cecily, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, Southwest, Gervais Park, Dorking, Surrey, and the Sporran, Fiveshire.
That does not sound unsatisfactory. 3 addresses always inspires confidence, even in tradesmen. What proof have I of authenticity?
I have carefully preserved the court guides of the period. They are open to your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
My family solicitors are Mercers, Markby, and Markby, Lady Bracknell.
Markby, and Markby? A firm of the highest position in their profession. Indeed, I am told that one of the Markbys is often seen at dinner parties. So far, I am satisfied.
How extremely kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I have also in my possession, you will be pleased to hear, certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, whooping cough, registration, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles, both the German and the English variety.
As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I'd better ask if Miss Cardew's any little fortune?
Oh, about £130,000 in the funds, that is all.
Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive young lady now that I look at her. Few girls of the present day have any really solid qualities, any of the qualities that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of surfaces. Pretty child, kindly turn around, sweet child. No, the side view is what I would like. Yes, just as I expected, there are distinct social possibilities in your future. Chin a little higher, dear? Style largely depends on the way the chin is worn. It's worn very high just at present. Algernon?
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's future.
Cecily is the sweetest, dearest, prettiest girl in the whole world, and I don't care twopence about social possibilities.
Never speak disrespectfully of society, dear. Only people who can't get into it do that. Well, I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta. Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
You may also address me as Aunt Augusta for the future.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
The marriage, I think, had better take place quite soon.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta. 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 Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
It's going to be a bloody marvellous day.
No justice, no peace.
Officers under attack from an angry crowd around Whitehall.
No racist! No justice! No racist! No justice!
Do 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 do. We stole them from the homeland. We stole their freedom. We used them as slaves. We used their sons as slaves. Time passed, laws passed. We still wanted their freedom. We arrested them for crimes they did not commit. They didn't commit them. So we passed some more laws to justify ourselves. Yeah. Karen's called the police murdered them. But it wasn't murder. Because they're not seen as people. No. Babadoo, 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 ba. Freedom!
Rumbles, 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 rumbles. Listen to the rumbles. Listen to the shudders that shake the foundations. Can you hear them quaking? The earth shaking. No one is listening to the laws they're making. Theresa May has condemned Donald Trump today of telling 4 black congressmen and an Asian congressman to, I quote President Trump here, go back to the totally broken and crime-infested countries from which they came from. Is that right, Mr. Johnson? Do you agree with Theresa May here?
I have to say, I think the relations between the UK, I've said what I've said about the relations between the UK and the US are incredibly important, but if you're the leader of a great multiracial, multicultural society, you simply cannot use that kind of language about sending people back to where they came from. I mean, that went out decades and decades ago, and thank heavens for that. So it's totally unacceptable. I agree with the Prime Minister.
Why won't you condemn it as racist?
You can take from what I've said what I think about President Trump's words.
But, Mr. Johnson, why won't you condemn it as racist?
Something's in the walls. It's emerging. Something's in there and it's coming. Vibrating, shaking, earthquaking, but only when you press your ear to it. Shut your eyes, close down your mind, shutters at the storefront, black out blinds, listen. Things in the walls were bad dreams. Lurking behind plasterboards, beneath wooden beams, take a hammer, pull out the nails, rip the seams, cover your mouth to stop the dust seeping in, sucking the voice from your throat. You can't lose that. Your voice. There's power in it. Feel it. Nails scattered along the floorboards. Beams stretching, flexing, plasterboard crumbles. You found that thing that wasn't there. It's brick. It's bare. Don't stop now. There's more to find. You press your ear again, a layer removed, and then you feel it. The buzzing, bubbling tension oozes in, but you stay. Look down. This country is frothing at the mouth. Rabid, teeth bared. A deep growl echoes from a place so far down, it pulls in the tides, hiding it from the surface. England is churning, yearning for difference. It presses itself into the soles of your feet, trembles at every footfall. No more tiptoes. We march.
Those rumbles, they're quaking, they're cracking, they're shaking, things are changing, history in the making. You think we can't see you hiding, running. We're looking for answers and finding nothing. The men who hold the reins are not paying their dues, ignoring the scars and watching as we bruise. Those rumbles, they're quaking. Number 10 is falling. Boris is shaking, that motherfucker's hiding. He's ignoring the news, just protecting his statues, funding police abuse.
What? Is the chief of that noble family in town Sir Whitful Whitwood?
He is expected today. Do you know him?
I have seen him. He promises to be an extraordinary person. I think you have the honour to be related to him.
He is half-brother to this Whitwood by a former wife, who was sister to my Lady Wishford, my wife's mother. If you marry Millamant, you must call cousins too, and you must.
I'd rather be in his relation than his acquaintance.
He comes to town in order to equip himself for travel.
For travel? Why, the man I mean is above 40.
No matter for that. No matter. 'Tis the honour of England that all of Europe should know we have blockheads of all ages.
I wonder there's not an act of parliament that will save the credit of the nation and prohibit the exportation of fools.
It is better as it is. 'tis better to trade with a little loss than to be quite eaten up with being overstocked. Yes.
Pray, are the foolies of this knight errant and those of his squire, his brother, anything related?
Not at all. Whitwood grows by the night like a medlar, grafted on a crab. One will melt in your mouth, and the other set your teeth on edge. One is all pulp, and the other all core. Yes.
So one will be rotten before he ripe, and the other one will be rotten without being ripe at all.
Sir Wilful, he's an odd mixture of bashfulness and obstinacy, but when he's drunk, he is as loving as the monster in the Tempest, and much after the same manner. To give Bother his due, he has something of good nature, and does not always want it. Yes.
Not always, but as often as his memory fails him and is commonplace of comparisons. He is a fool, with good memory and a few scraps of other folks' wit. He is one whose conversation can never be approved, yet it is now and then to be enjoyed.
Well, if you have a mind to finish his picture, you have an opportunity to do it at full length. Behold the original.
Look, just get off, yeah? I have things I want to say. He was my dad as well, alright? So just rein in, everyone. Just calm yourselves down. I have things I want to say. So have a seat, please. Sit yourselves down.
Thank you. That wasn't so hard now, was it? Nice to see everyone, I mean it. I always knew my dad was the popular bloke, and here you all are, family and friends. Fills me right up knowing that you all think my dad, the salt of the earth, was top drawer. I mean, look at you. It's not about who knew my dad, who didn't know him more like. Yeah. There was a lot of love about my dad. That old bastard.
Michael, sit down. Well, put your face back, Carly, will ya? My sister, the fuss spot. I only said bastard. It's a word. It's in the dictionary. Look it up. Anyhow, where was I? Oh yeah, my dad. The proper. Let me give you an example. When I was little, and he took me to a free, he would cover my ears like this. Whenever the other blokes would shout, black this, black that, to all of the coloured players. And he could stop me hearing, but he couldn't stop me from seeing. Bananas being thrown at them. Oh, I mean, what was that? My dad would say. Where was the sense? On and on, he would go on about that. All the way home, every fucking game. Time and place, he'd say. Time and place. Even when that stopped, he would go on about it.
Got to the point when I got older, I just thought, if you hated it so bad, why didn't you just stop? Like, forget covering my ears, just... Sis, will you just sit down? What is the matter with you? Where was I? See, you've made me lose my train of thought. Or was it chain? I don't know. Anyhow, what I'm trying to say is Dad loved his footy, like Leighton Orient, the Euros, the World Cup. He lived for that shit. And I mean, because we still believe, we still have this hope because we are England. England! We invented that shit. That shit is our game. We lick that shit up. We lick it clean. And seriously though, like, let's face it. Let's face some facts. We are shit. We are shit at everything.
Not my words. The old man's. Because England now...
England, fucking Orient, mate. Go on.
is nothing but a pile of shit, crawling its way up the arse of the likes of Theresa May, your fucking Farage, red bleeding Corbyn, oh, and don't even get me started on that orange cunt in the White House. Oh, was that a bad word? Should I not have said that? What? Orange. Orange. Yeah, the rest of us, nothing but flakes. Flakes of shit trying desperately to hang on.
It's no use looking at me like that, sis. It was his words, not mine. Only when he was pissed. That's when the truth came out. You wanna know what he thought about all of you? Yeah? Well, get ready to have your mind blown. He hated you. He hated every single one of you. I take you, Carly. His own daughter, my sister. He couldn't stand seeing you living off benefits for the rest of your life. Bleeding this country dry. Dropping your knickers at the first sight of a black cock.
Dad's words, Carly. Are you listening to me? Your new bloke Andy, first white bloke you've ever dated, blames the immigrants for everything, going on and on about how foreign players are running the English game, killing it. What are you talking about, Andy? The only reason foreign players came over is because English players are so rubbish. We've been rubbish since 1966. Wake up, will ya? Who do you think built your house? 14 hours a day below minimum wage? The English. You're having a laugh.
If our English players weren't so up themselves all the time, picking up their fat checks at the end of the week, we would learn from the foreign players, like learning how to pass the bleeding ball as well as keep it. Maintain the midfield, be creative, fucking press. Oh, don't throw a wobbly now. This is Dad's drunk talking, not me.
Delroy, my best mate, he came over from Jamaica with his parents, right? But then he went and voted for fucking Brexit. Fucking leaver he is. I mean, Jesus, Delroy, what is the matter with you? When they want a curb on immigration, who do you think they're talking about? Delroy, I love you like a brother, but you may sound like us, act like us. Hell, you might even be one of us, and deep down you know it. And he has to, because this is England we're talking about.
Banana throwing on the pitch is not regular, but mark my words, that anger is still there. Yeah, it's coming out in droves. It's making a comeback. Maybe you choose not to, eh? Delroy, mate, it's not me, it's my dad talking. Maybe it ain't. I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore. I don't
know anymore. I don't know anymore.
Cecily, surely such a utilitarian thing as the watering of flowers is rather Moulton's duty than yours, especially when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray open it at page 15. We will repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It isn't at all becoming a language. I know perfectly well that I look quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving for town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German as he is leaving for town.
Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he's so serious that I think he cannot be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanour is especially to be commended in one so comparatively young as he is.
I know no one who has a higher sense of duty and responsibility.
I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we three are together.
Cecily, I am surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. Idle merriment and triviality would be out of place in his conversation. You must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
I wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometimes. We might have a good influence over him, Miss Prism. I'm sure you certainly would. You know, German and geology and things of that kind influence a man very much.
I do not think that even I could produce any effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is irretrievably weak and vacillating. Indeed, I am not sure I would desire to reclaim him. I am not in favour of his modern mania for turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so let him reap. You must put your diary away, Cecily. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary in order to enter the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should probably forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that have never happened, and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe that memory is responsible for nearly all the 3-volume novels that Moody sends us.
Do not speak slightly of the 3-volume novels, Cecily. I wrote one myself in earlier days.
Did you really, Miss Prism? How wonderfully clever you are! I hope it did not end happily. I don't like novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily, the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
I suppose so, but it seems very unfair. And was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript was abandoned. I use the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To your work, child, these speculations are profitless.
Horrid political economy, horrid geography, horrid German! What did you learn in school?
The realities of British imperialism and colonialism are not taught in school. The oppression of black people in Britain by Britain is not taught in school. This needs to change.
Reform the curriculum.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at my daily makeup tutorial. I like to start with applying some light foundation. I use this one made with natural ingredients such as colonialism and slavery. It's been working so well for so many centuries, and it will always fit you well. I never leave the house without applying some eyeshadow. It allows me to always walk into any room and be treated with respect. Plus, with an extra layer, it can really give you some great rights and opportunities. It is essential to cover up as many flaws and wrongdoings as possible. Finally, I like to apply a thin layer of lipstick called Police Brutality. You look good and your eyes are popping. Thank you for watching.
This is America. Don't got you slipping up. Look how I'm living up. Police be tripping up. Yeah, this is America. Guns in my area. I got the strap.
Now they always say congratulations.
This is America.
Work so hard for
don't got you slipping up. Don't got you slipping up.
They ain't never
look what I'm whipping up. This is America.
People hate and say we
don't got you slipping up. Don't got you slipping up.
If you roll with winning, put your lighters to the sky. How could it all make sense when I got millions on my mind? Coming with a bullshit, I just put it to the side. About a sense of clarity, they can see it in my eyes.
This is America. Don't got you slipping up. Look how I'm living up. Police be tripping up. Yeah, this is America. Guns in my area. I got the strap.
Now they always say congratulations.
This is America.
Work so hard for
don't got you slipping up. Don't got you slipping up.
They ain't never
look what I'm whipping up. This is America. slipping up. Don't catch you slipping up. This is America. Pops is locked, she wanna pop the lock, but prison ain't nothing but a private stock. And she be dreaming about his day to release. She hate the police, but loved by her grandma who hugs and kisses her. Her father's a political prisoner, free Fred, son of a panther that the government shot dead back in 12/4/1969. 4 o'clock in the morning, it's terrible, but it's fine, cause Fred Hampton Jr. looks just like him, walks just like him, talks just like him, and it might be frightening the feds and the snitches to see him organize the gang, brothers and sisters. So he had to be framed, yo. You know how the game go. 18 years because the 5-0 said so. They said he set a fire to an Arab store, but
Hey, you get home okay?
Yeah, but what the hell was that?
I know.
Did you hear what she said to me? And calling the security over?
Yeah, and we didn't even do anything. Like, accusing us of being loud, aggressive. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. The way they spoke to us.
Always. The way they looked at us.
Standard.
They didn't even ask us what happened.
Why would they though? Look, those bastards are gonna get what's coming to them one day. Karma is the biggest bitch I know.
Are they though?
My ancestors have got my back. I know it. Look, they have been doing this day in, day out. I've spotted them watching us from time. Checking what we're wearing, what we're holding. Like we're circus freaks.
They all follow us. It's that simple. They don't care that we work and earn our money same way to pay for things the same way they do.
They don't care that I've never stolen a damn thing in my entire life.
They don't care that we're more scared of them than they are of us.
They don't even care if you're a man or a woman, elder or not.
They don't see us.
They see what they want to see out there.
Yeah. And we feel it every day.
I won't let them see it hurts though.
But how do you hide your pain?
You just gotta live your best life and be free. Do bits.
That's not possible most times.
Yeah, what with people watching everything you do all the time just because you're you.
We should be
seen.
Like we deserve to be. Not harassed.
Ignored, neglected. No different from home.
But your mum is cool with you being you. I mean, you live at home still, so...
I am loved. I am loved, but she accepts me up to a point, you know? And I just want to be seen, like I am. I want my mother to look at me and ask me about my friends without being worried that I'll talk about it, you know? Or even tease me about who I have a crush on like she does with my sisters. And not ask me every day if I want to have this to deal with. Or on my sister's wedding day. I want to get dressed up and eat and dance and have a room full of eyes watching without wondering why I didn't turn out like my sisters. I want to still have sleepovers with my cousins and not be put in another room on my own like some freak. I want to hear my mother say, Lune, I hope you find happiness. Once. Just once, and that once will do, but she worries about what my life will be. If she could just let me... I just want to dream. Just a little bit about what kind of love I could have in my future. Just as I am. But I will do as they say. Hide Lune. Shrink Lune. Make yourself small, Lune. This flesh,
This body wants to take up the same space. I'm a good citizen, and I work just as hard. I deserve a place at your flipping table. And when I wake up every morning and go to work, every day at 8:59 a.m, I arrive to a place where they only talk to me when they want something. Don't think I've got anything to say. Don't ask me what I did last night, because of course I was sitting around eating chicken and chatting street or twerking. Because that's what we do, right? But they don't ask because they don't want to know. Don't dare imagine that there are millions of us out here calling ourselves British, reading the same books they read, writing better books, changing history. They ignore that. Blank it out and just maybe they'll erase us and move on. Every day they look at me straight through me and ask for another cup of coffee. If you could please be an angel and do that, Leah. I can see some days they want to pat me on the head and tell me I'm one of the good ones because I'm working. Like I'm something special? Because it's still rare to see a black face in your shiny, bougie offices? But little do they know that we all have ambition. But some of us don't get to fulfill ours because someone is scared by our exotic sounding name before they read anything else. And another doesn't like how loud we talk during the interview. Keep your head down, my mum says. Just keep turning up. She lays out my breakfast every morning. Tea, toast, juice and a serviette. Everything laid out like she's waiting on the Queen. Like I'm doing something important.
Leah, you have to tell your mum. You have to leave that place.
I can't do that to her. I can't let her down again. This is what she dreamt of when she was growing up. That one day her daughter would be out here doing more than she's had the chance to do. More than the cleaning jobs and all the shit she's had to do. She's proud.
No. She wouldn't want you to feel like this.
You think I haven't thought about hiding myself away? I do. All the time. I feel like a fool most days.
We can't let them win. We gotta stay alive up here. Take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what?
What are you doing?
Stop it! You look like some gangster, full-flesh revolutionary.
Like Naomi Campbell and Grace Jones rolled into one.
Like Olivia Morris and Diane Abbott, Mary Seagull, Mallory Blackman, Baroness Lawrence,
Margaret Busby, Claudia Jones, legends.
Oh, represent.
Renee. You know I'm here to talk whenever you need to.
Right back at ya.
Anyway, I gotta go. Mum wants me.
fried dumplings today.
You know it, sis.
In a bit, Leah.
Bye.
If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
What do you hope the acting industry will learn from the unrest and anger following the murder of George Floyd?
I think it's emboldened a generation of people to say, that's it, enough, no more, I'm not standing for this. I think young people are cottoning on much sooner than my generation did, that you don't just put up with it, you call it out.
Thank you very much for your time, and I've learnt a lot.
Okay, Aurelie, it's a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
You don't hear it because we don't say it. I was free only in battle with myself and my souls. My freedom intrinsically linked with the pain of tomorrow. My halves fighting for light, but my darkness engulfing them in a never-ending tunnel. I had at last come home to red lights and pink cushion. Debris of memories thrown into the wind, a wind of hope and desire. The innocence floated away from me like a beautiful hot air balloon, multicolored bows and crystal balls. The future is green with envy. Grey screams pounding in your ribcage. Our humanity has been swallowed whole in the midst of angry sobs and shallow hearts. Our voices drowned out by wailing sirens and flashing lights. Our faces hidden in the shadows of fluorescent candles, intertwined into a beautiful collage of strength and pain. A rainbow of unity and hope in a world full of hatred and overdue love. The storm brewing within is loud enough to be heard over the sound of the wind, but our thoughts remain still, unmoved by the currents lodged against our will. The sea transports our voices away, drowning alongside bodies no one bothered to claim. A bottomless and nameless terror, marble floors cold on my disintegrating skin. Let's live in a world we are proud to be in. Thunder and lightning will never wash away the guilt and the shame of always staying the same.
Notice me, I am meant to be free, I am strong. Let's join hands and hold on. I am only human, my face is a reflection, and I know we ain't got nobody to lean on. We'll just keep working and walking, so be strong. No, we ain't got nobody to lean on. We'll just keep working and walking, so be strong. You see our pain, but you build your wall. You see these tears as they do fall. We won't be silenced, we stand as one. But really, how far have we come?
The sun still shines. touched by our ancestors who send waves of colossal strength. Do you hear them? The foundation of this country we built on our backs, but it's a reality that a black fatality like Ahmaud Arbery for so long remained unseen, veiled by a system that nurtures ignorance and assembles mind-forged manacles to make us forget. But we must not forget. Centuries of trading black bodies across seas of black people seen to be property, but see, it now runs in every crack and crevice and crack in walls in every place we go. So now most places I go, when you ask me to educate you, I just say, no. See, my health matters too. There's always a queue of things to do, my own traumas to get through, and you must see that, hear that, respect that. Often as I fall, I rise to see seeds of seedless earth, for my bed is heavily guarded, so to catch me when I fall. A blanket of their wings so soothing, I forget. Look up to see coral waves of beauty singing, "This is only the beginning." When the darkness dims our light, we must ignite more flames, as fireflies against the surrounding shadowland, the warmth of our embrace beaming through the labyrinth of endless possibility. Arise from the horizon, water lilies, colourful and spirited, lift up my heart. Hope has me for the most part.
Black Lives Matter.
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 We decided to make this piece because it is necessary to respond to what is going on in the world, and Black Lives Matter is a huge and important current issue.
Yeah, when a black man is brutally murdered by the police, the world must shout. There's no point in carrying on with our lives as if nothing happened. It happened, and it was real, and it was evil. And it opened my eyes to a reality not far from me, but to which I've been blind. And as actors and artists, we have an obligation to make the invisible visible and use our voices with a purpose, to expose the questions that have been ignored and can no longer stay quiet.
Yeah, definitely. I think we felt that we couldn't ignore the movement that was happening in the real world outside of COVID and our small foundation course. So we thought it was the right thing to do, to use our voices and creativity to contribute and amplify the Black Lives Matter movement and Black voices. And I think that everyone agrees that we consider it such a privilege to to be able to create such important and relevant work.
For sure. And the dismantling of racist structures perpetuating white privilege and supremacy needs to happen now. Like, it's an emergency and has been for centuries. George Floyd's death was merely a catalyst, not just one isolated incident. So as artists, like Zoe said, it's an obligation. We have a platform and we have creative skills that we can use to highlight, address and educate people about racial prejudice within the UK.
Yeah, so we had lots of incredible but difficult conversations with each other, our directors and artistic director, and I know for a fact that I wouldn't have had the courage to start these conversations if I hadn't felt so passionately about this project, and others did as well. And I hope that people that are watching can take away some inspiration to use their voice and use their privilege in whatever way that may be, to fight for those that are marginalized and oppressed, and whether that's through the art they make or the people they hire and work with and the conversations they have, basically through every aspect of their lives.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't been the easy route, but it's important, and a collaborative project is so much more interesting compared to an original traditional or Shakespeare play that we were originally going to focus on, and it just gives the space for so many more voices to be heard and ideas to be brought into the space and to be developed and challenged, and for us to be not just actors but collaborators.
Yeah, I think after coming to terms with our initial end of year piece being compromised by COVID, we were all kind of looking for a new way forward with this course, and the murder of George Floyd and the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement slowly made that clear. This showcase was no longer just about showing off our skills as actors, but about serving as a platform to spread a message, both financially through suggested donations going to our GoFundMe, and just to create a piece that's relevant, and to use theatrical means to speak out, as we all must do, regardless of your colour or your creed.
I have 3 quotes in mind that summarize how I feel. It's an artist's duty to reflect the times in which we live. White silence equals white consent. Art, freedom, and creativity will change society faster than politics.
We all felt so passionate about this project, and it wasn't always easy to come up with new ideas and new creations that we wanted to share. But I think one of the most challenging things for me was be able to share what I created in my work without being afraid of feedback and constructive criticism, as well as work in harmony with people. We're very proud that we did that.
Like, being honest, it's been hard. Like, working and rehearsing via Zoom has been so difficult, and it is really isolating, and I think is a constant reminder of how this current climate does keep us apart. And it is at times difficult to stay engaged, as it's draining, and it is hard to keep that enthusiasm and that passion that we all have when you just feel so disconnected because of it. And I think it's really hard to continue practicing a craft that relies so heavily on human interaction and relationships and connection when we can't even be in the same room. But we've had the chance to do something YATI has never done before with this really untraditional setup. It has given us the opportunity to do something that breaks away from tradition, and I think I've learned new skills that I would have never learned if we had been in the studio, and I've learned more about myself and grown closer to my peers and teachers at this time, because the work's pulled us together because we need each other so much more.
Yeah, I think, as you say, broadly speaking, the biggest challenge this foundation course has been the things that lie outside of our control, namely COVID. And at first that was devastating because you can't just fix it. We can't just go back to the theatre. But after a while, I think we started to be grateful for what we still can do together as a team. And practically speaking, you're grateful for what you have, and when you can't fix something, you work around it.
Certainly, and that's what we did and have been doing. So yeah, in addition to that, for me, being the only Black student within this ensemble, there were times where I felt like I was the spokesperson for the Black community, and that was a lot of pressure and was very overwhelming. So I sort of felt like it was my responsibility to educate people and ensure that the message stayed clear. And so for me personally, I had to figure out the balance between being actively creative and giving myself the time and space to sit back and address my own traumas that had been triggered by a lot of what we were exploring and discussing as a group. And I think being in a white dominated space as well, there is a lot of white fragility present, and that sometimes shifted the focus away from the importance of our piece and was at times very frustrating. But people are learning, and that's the most important thing. And we've all learned so much throughout this process, and the process was of great significance just as much as the end product. So yeah, we've all come up against challenges as a unit, and whether that be within our institution or personally, but it's so encouraging to see everyone's passion and drive and commitment to making something so meaningful. And so I feel very proud personally, and I feel very grateful to be given this space and opportunity to do so. And in terms of what we would like people to take away, I hope non-Black people feel a sense of responsibility and feel obliged to take action in their daily lives. And like Ella said, little things like who you're hiring, the conversations you're having, and just being able to have that inner conversation with yourself about investigating your own complicity and taking accountability. And the people who look like me who are watching, I think I'd like them to feel a sense of empowerment, and I want them to feel heard and uplifted. And personally, I do feel very hopeful. This whole thing that we've managed to do is such a great achievement in itself. So yeah, I want everyone to come away feeling motivated to make change in whatever way they can.
Yeah, definitely. I hope people will be affected, moved, and shaken up by our piece. If people are currently being silenced, if they don't feel concerned, then I hope it will make them get involved.
Sure, and I know that for me, this project has reinforced the fact that my voice matters and is of value. And so I've learned to follow my intuition and know that I shouldn't have to compromise my own integrity or compromise living my own truth in order to make people feel more comfortable. And I think that's something that we've all learned in having these conversations with each other. And there's such an openness now, which is incredible to see. So it's been such a journey. And like Elle mentioned earlier, there are so many skills that we've learned, like editing, directing our own pieces, filming them. So we've all got all these skills that we can take out into the industry and use.
We've definitely all learned a lot over lockdown, and I think I'll definitely take away a sense of confidence when speaking about big issues like this. And I've learned that my voice is eloquent enough to speak out, and that I am informed enough and passionate enough to speak about these issues and educate people, which has been a really nice realization to have gained.
And when the coronavirus first entered the discourse in the UK, all of us doubted whether we'd be able to even finish the course at all. So I'm proud of how we managed to keep it going online and that it remained really fulfilling creatively and educational as well, because I feel like I've grown into a more empowered and creative person, and I'm way more comfortable in my own skin. I've learned a lot about film and theatre industries and what goes into creating the work that we love to watch so much.
And I think that the best thing about this course for me is the course being the main driving point for me to step out of my comfort zone and move to London. And I'm so grateful for that. And as a result, I have this amazing network of creatives and friends who have the same drive and passion as me, and I hope I can work with them forever and ever.
Yeah, I think for me it's similar to that. The people I've met have made my experience, and creating those friendships and training together has really been amazing. And as you say, to hopefully work with everyone in the future would be great.
Yeah, echoing that, it's been so great to be able to make all these new connections that we'll have for a long time after this. And I think the challenges that we've all faced have forced us to grow as people and as artists. So we're really grateful for that.
The best thing about YATI has been learning new skills like self-taping and working as a team.
Yes, and the commitment that the teachers have towards us and the course is just remarkable.
One of the best things about YATI has been the people I met and friends I made, as well as being in Angel, which is a pretty cool area in London.
Yeah, the people, the friends we've all made along the way, people who I hope to collaborate with in the future. And of course, some people have dropped out as the course has gone on, but everyone had their own effect on the room and the way we worked. So I think it's all worked out the way it's supposed to.
YATI has been a great human adventure for me. So I would say the people has been the best thing. But otherwise, I really enjoyed the variety of the classes and the things we were taught.
I think the best thing about this course is definitely some of the teachers, the ones who have helped me and pushed me to learn and to grow. And I'm most proud of the family that I've built. I found my home people, and I'm so proud of everything that I've made, especially during the last term, like during lockdown. Like, I've achieved things that I never thought that I would.
Yeah, at the risk of repeating what everyone else has said, the best thing is definitely the people that I've met, and the honour and the privilege of working with the teachers has been the most incredible experience.
Yeah, echoing that, it wouldn't be the same without the people. Like, that's the highlight, 100%. My peers, our directors, we've all come so far together and grown so much, and it's been such a pleasure to be a part of that.
Yeah, I suppose my main takeaway is something that was said to us earlier in the year. It's something that kind of stuck with me, and I hope I always kind of return to it. It's that it's not about confidence, it's about courage. And the people I've met on this course have plenty of that.
Just repeating what everyone said, but the best thing about YATI is the people, the students and the teachers, and I really hope I stay friends with everyone for life. I think what YATI gives you is a group of like-minded, talented people who just want to connect with each other, and we definitely have. The teachers are so passionate and have really kept us motivated in the last couple of months. It's been amazing.
Thanks for
Thank you for watching.